You are looking at an electric car that can go 516 miles on a single charge. It makes 800 horsepower. The crazy part is there's another one that can go even further, and there's yet another one that makes 1,111 horsepower. The question is, are these ridiculous numbers the only reason why we named the Lucid Air our 2022 MotorTrend Car of the Year? Let's find out. Perhaps the most important thing you should know about Lucid is that their CEO/Chief Technical Officer is a gentleman named Peter Rawlinson. Well, why does he matter? Because Peter was the chief engineer of the Tesla Model S. The dude knows how to build a great electric car. What's different about the Lucid Air compared to, say, the Tesla Model S? Well, the powertrain components have been miniaturized. Why does that matter? A whole bunch of reasons. One is it makes them more efficient, and being more efficient leads to all sorts of good things. One is that massive range, another is the huge horsepower numbers, but also having tiny components means you have better packaging inside the vehicle. For instance, check out this frunk. This is Brady. Brady is our PA. Brady is 6 feet tall and weighs 180 pounds. Later, Brady. Anyways, pretty impressive for a front opening. Now, obviously, the Air is going to compete against other luxury, high-end performance sedans. We're talking about the Tesla Model S, but also the Mercedes EQS, the Porsche Taycan, and the Audi e-tron GT. You will notice, however, only one of those, the Tesla, has ever been called a MotorTrend Car of the Year. When it comes to the design of the Lucid Air, it looks incredibly futuristic because it is. There's so many innovations going on here, yet it looks so, well, I described it in my world exclusive first drive review as a Citroen DS that has to star in Blade Runner, and I stand by that. But let me just show you a couple of things that are going on. One, this front end is the most efficient front end in the history of the automobile. The drag coefficient is 0.2. That literally the lowest ever. And then there's these headlights. Look how tiny these headlights are. But know this, Lucid has 5 people with PhDs that do nothing but work on the headlights. So even though they're teeny tiny, they work better than any other headlight on the market. Same is true of this small grille. It looks just, it's that big, but it's got some Venturis behind it that actually throw air onto the radiators in the most efficient way possible. So that tiny little opening works better than a massive grille. Coming down the side of the car, well, look at this. Here's the windshield, and the windshield ends right here. It's glass all the way up to here. And then you look at this and you go, I know there's something different about it. I don't know what it is. Well, here's what it is. They have made the componentry so small that they're able to make the passenger compartment even bigger. So the effect is that the wheels look like they're pushed out further from each other. Also, you have a two-tone roof. Doesn't really do anything for efficiency or technology, but it looks pretty cool. Then you get to this giant cut line here, which almost looks as if like a panel is misaligned, but it isn't. It's actually a Lucid design signature, and what they're signifying is their trunk opening is the biggest there is, period. And when you're talking about the design of the Lucid, it's really difficult to separate out all the technology from the design itself. And that's on purpose. If the outside of the Lucid Air is from the future, the inside is from the last century, specifically the middle of it. This is mid-century modern design, and it is fantastic. The thing you need to know is Lucid, the design team, they're quite proud of the fact that the cars were designed right here in California. You can actually see the California bear right here in the seats. Very cool touch. And the interiors, they have names like Santa Cruz, Mojave. I believe I'm sitting in Tahoe. The other cool thing about them is they wanted it to feel like you have your own private jet. So if you've ever been in a jet, right, the cockpits tend to be dark and there's a lot of controls and information. And then the rear of the plane where the passengers sit, it's lighter and it's open and airier. And they've done that here. So every single design is going to be darker in the front and lighter in the back. And the effect really does work. I also love the material selection that Lucid's using. Nice leather, Alcantara, contrast stitching with some leather piping. They actually have cool fabrics down here. The metal's great. The little bit of plastic that there is high quality. They've done a wonderful job there. Now, it is Screen-a-Palooza, lots of screens. EV's got to have lots of screens. And yeah, most of the things you do them through the screen. For instance, if I want to adjust the steering wheel, I push this button here, up, down, in, out on the screen, not on the wheel itself. However, what Lucid did that's so smart, the controls you use almost every single time you get into a vehicle, they're right here. Temperature, fan speed, volume, and they're big and they're intuitive and they're right there. Thank you, Lucid, for doing that. It is quite spacious in here. Again, they've miniaturized all the powertrain components, so lots of room, tons of room in the rear seat. But what I really want you to take away is the fact that this is how you do the interior of an electric luxury car. And now comes performance. The Lucid Air Grand Touring makes 800 horsepower. It's a four-door family car. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life because things like this are becoming normal. Yay! And with 800 horsepower, you're gonna assume it's quick, and it is. We timed this car to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds flat. Now you might be saying, whoa, whoa, Tesla Plaid, 2 seconds, to which I say, that's true. The Tesla with 3 motors makes 1,020 horsepower. This, it's got 2 motors, makes 800. There is a version called the Dream Edition P. P is for performance, 1,111 horsepower. And Lucid has a 3-motor Air coming, which will be around 1,400 horsepower. This is getting ridiculous. I cannot wait. How does it drive? Magnificently. I took it up one of the best roads in the world and described it as a 4-door Nissan GTR. That's right, a Godzilla, and you can throw your kids in the back comfortably. Efficiency, I mean, again, actually I have to admit something. I've lied to you once during this video. I said that this car can go 516 miles on a single charge. And that would be true if it were on 19-inch wheels. However, it's on 21. So on 21s, the range drops from 516 to only 469 miles. However, know this, the next most efficient car in the world is the Tesla Model S long range, and it can go 405 miles. So even with these big, sexy wheels and performance tires on it, this is still as efficient as cars get. In terms of safety, the Lucid Air has not been crash tested yet. Tesla Model S is a very safe car, but we just don't know about the Lucid. We do know that the Air has almost every single active safety feature there is, including something called Dream Drive Pro. It's semi-autonomous driving software that actually includes a camera to monitor the driver's eyes to make sure you're not just staring at your cell phone instead of the road. The important thing to know is that this car features over-the-air updates. So just like your cell phone, you can wake up one morning and you have an entirely new operating system. And the car is future-proofed against new technology. There are 32 sensors, including 14 cameras. So as self-driving tech evolves, the Air is ready for it. How much? A lot. Kinda. There is a base model of this car. It's called the Air Pure. It's got one less motor, makes less power, it has less range, but you can get into it for $77,400, which is still a lot of money, but it's kind of priced like a regular luxury car. This one, next to me, the Air Grand Touring, is $139,000. That's expensive, but then let's look at the competition. You know, you've got that Tesla Plaid. and that's 130,000 bucks. And yes, it's quicker in a straight line, but you know, you don't have the range, you don't have the interior luxury. The Mercedes EQS, you have the interior luxury. It is less expensive, but it's gonna kill you with options. This one is fully optioned as it comes. And then you look at the other Germans, well, that Audi, that's the same price and it has half the range and doesn't have nearly the performance. So when you begin to look at the Air Grand Touring like that, it's still really expensive. However, there is value in this much power and this much range. If there's one thing I want you to know about the 2022 Lucid Air, it's that it's our 2022 MotorTrend Car of the Year. Not since the Tesla Model S have we seen a vehicle this groundbreaking, this disruptive, this innovative, this futuristic. And it has this cutting-edge, avant-garde exterior. The interior is as good as any luxury vehicle out there. The performance is incredible. The efficiency is literally the best there is. And so, for all those reasons and more, we decided to give the Lucid the biggest award we've got. For more information about the Air and all of our other of the year winners, please visit MotorTrend.com.